On the go? So are we. Get the IBJ Media app, your all-in-one news source for Indiana business news. Get breaking news alerts, read every story from IBJ, Inside Indiana Business, and the Indiana Lawyer, and listen to your favorite podcasts all in one place. Big news, small screen. Search IBJ Media and download the app today.
This is Inside Indiana Business Radio on demand for Tuesday, May 5th, 2026. I'm Gary Dick. Indianapolis International Airport is adding JetBlue to its roster of airlines starting November 2nd with a once-daily nonstop flight to Fort Lauderdale via Lauderdale Hollywood International Airport. The airport says the new nonstop will also give travelers multiple connections to Caribbean destinations. The all-new IndyCar chassis that will be in play for the 2028 season is again being designed and built by Italy's Dallara, the series' exclusive chassis supplier, but much of the work is being done in Indianapolis, says IMS President Doug Bowles.
A lot of the car was already built here, but more of the car will now be built here in Indianapolis, which will really be nice. So it's an Italian car, obviously, but a lot of it now is going to be built here, which really connects us further. You know, the racing capital of the world, we need those cars built right here.
Columbus-based Cummins is closing its Whitestown distribution site and terminating about 59 employees, all part of a consolidation effort. In a notice to the state, Cummins says it will close the facility by August 31st. Columbus Regional Health has announced Andy Goose as its next president and CEO. He will begin his new role July 1, succeeding interim CEO Jim Bickle. With more than 2 decades of healthcare leadership experience, Goose most recently served as CEO of a health system in Bradenton, Florida. He's also no stranger to Indiana, having previously served as Chief Operating Officer at Bluffton Regional Medical Center and Kosciuszko Community Hospital in Northeast Indiana. From the state's #1 source for Indiana business news, you're listening to Inside Indiana Business Radio. Indiana, start your engines. Join us from the Indianapolis Motor Speedway for our Emmy Award-winning Business at the Brickyard, presented by LiUNA. All month long, we'll bring you exclusive interviews, features, and a behind-the-scenes look at how the business of motorsports and racing drive the Indiana economy. Business at the Brickyard. It's front-row access you won't want to miss. Washington, D.C.-based developer Encora has selected global architecture and design firm Gensler to lead design work for the redevelopment of the historic South Bend Tribune building and a nearby property in downtown South Bend.
Colfax Corner is a planned mixed-use development that is the first major investment in the city's emerging tech and talent district. The development will focus on reusing the Tribune building, which has been vacant since 2019. Plans call for transforming the building into a hub for business, technology, and innovation. In total, the project will include about 202,000 square feet of new and renovated space. The University of Notre Dame will use roughly 1/3 for research, innovation, and community programs. The remaining space will be used by companies in fields such as advanced computing, data analytics, and artificial intelligence. Based in San Francisco, Gensler has nearly 60 locations throughout the world. Among its high-profile projects are NVIDIA's Silicon Valley corporate headquarters, the Warner Brothers Discovery Building in California, and the Cincinnati Open in Ohio. Alex Brown, Inside Indiana Business Radio.
Coca-Cola Consolidated Inc. is investing $35 million to grow operations at its Indianapolis manufacturing facility. The investment will support the addition of a new bottle production line and creation of 15 to 20 full-time jobs. Coca-Cola currently employs about 200 at the facility in Speedway. Indianapolis-based ag giant Corteva says the advanced seed and genetics company that will be formed after it separates into 2 independent companies will be called Vylor Inc. Corteva says the name Vylor is derived from the word valor and that the name is a nod to the mindset of the new company, which is, quote, vying for every opportunity. The separation is expected to be in place by the 4th quarter of the year. This is Gary Dick for Inside Indiana Business Radio on Demand.
Off the Record with Indiana's 250 most influential business and community leaders is a podcast that peels back the curtain on Indiana's most respected leaders, one episode at a time. Go beyond the headlines and hear the stories of grit and innovation that shape these leaders. Do you want to know who's driving our state forward? This is a must listen. Subscribe and listen wherever you get your podcasts or at ibjpodcast.com.
The IBJ Media Podcast Network is the soundtrack of a growing state. Indiana is on the move, and you can hear it happening on the IBJ Media Podcast Network. We bring you the voices at the center of our economy, our courts, our companies, and our communities. Subscribe now and be part of the conversation that's building Indiana's future. Find all of our shows by searching IBJ Media in your podcast app or visit ibjpodcasts.com.